What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the quartering, and some pretty big updates coming out of my home state. Well, about 30 minutes west of where I live, including some information around this individual's family, the apparent motive, and targets now revealed. It seems like more and more is, coming out. Probably now that they know it's safe that this individual was just a poor kid and they can, there's just a poor kid who got, who people were mean to, so they can report on it. If this person, identified a certain way or whatever, of course, we'd probably never know the truth. That's just the way this stuff works, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get into the updates. Now, PD suggests new motive behind the incident, as now her parents are also under investigation. There has been kind of this trend now of charging the parents when stuff like this happens, and that's always tough for me to really get behind, because especially when these individuals are older, or maybe they did some of this stuff without the parents' knowledge. But it is what it is. They've now said it was a student and a teacher that didn't survive that day, and some others are still fighting for their lives. Inside the documents that have been circulating on social media, PD have not said that they've been able to confirm the validity, but we basically know that internet sleuths have already confirmed that. Here you see her motive remains unclear, but PD believes that bullying may have been a factor. I mean, I wouldn't exactly say that that's, some kind of bombshell motive. They say, okay, well, may have been a factor. Well, okay, we don't really know. Say there's, by the way, women and girls only account for 3% of people that do this kind of thing. I mean, is that some kind of weird cope? I don't know. Exactly what's going on, but this individual, so people were mean to them, and that's why they did it. It's possible. Kids can be very cruel. You see, motive appears to be a combination of factors. PD says officials are trying to determine why this individual did what they did. The motive appears to be a combination of factors. Madison PD Chief Sean Barnes said in a news conference yesterday, they're talking to students to determine if bullying was one of the factors. He said everyone was targeted in this incident, and everyone was put into equal danger. So the idea here that this was, targeting a particular person, that goes out the window now. There's apparently no target. It was just, about, taking out as many as they could, which is, I think, pretty much how all of these go. There may be certain reasons why certain people pick certain places, like in Nashville. But in this particular case, this kid went to this school and have just happened to be there. Two students still remain in critical condition. There's a candlelight vigil held yesterday. The Madison community was experiencing something terrible. Of course, they're looking in now to her online activity. Encourage anyone who knew her or had any insights on her feelings to call Madison Crime Stoppers. Her parents are now cooperating with the investigation. They're cooperative despite this tragedy. They still lost a child. They still lost a member of their family. Barnes said it's still certain. I mean, it is certain that they've probably more questions than anyone because they knew her. They lived with her. So we wanted to get an account from them of what kind of person she was. Her father is being questioned by investigators, Barnes said. He said he didn't know whether the mother had been questioned, noting that she had been out of town. What's wild is, by the way, it's also been reported that a second grader called it in. That's actually not true. It was a teacher. A second grade teacher called it in, not a second grader. I talked about that yesterday. I was like, wow, base for a second grader. I mean, that's crazy, but turns out it was the teacher. Still, obviously good that someone called it in. Here it says everyone was targeted. This is, kind of police say a combination of factors appear to have led to what happened. In a news conference, he said he would not be sharing any more details about motive to avoid jeopardizing the investigation. He asked anyone with information, call in and do his job for him, apparently. He said they're looking at her social media presence, but did not share any specific information about the teen's online behavior. Investigators are also trying to determine if she was bullied and if that influenced her actions. Barnes said, but he did not say if anyone was specifically targeted. Everyone was targeted in this incident. Everyone was in equal danger. They're also investigating how she obtained her weapon. Barnes said on Monday is that her family is cooperating with the investigation. Barnes also addressed the circulation of a document allegedly connected to the incident that has been circulating online. Barnes has said the document's authenticity cannot be verified. He said that detectives are working on the origin of the document. How come one chick in Canada can figure all that out in about an hour after the incident, and PD is on their 4th day and they can't figure it out? Also, Barnes clarified an earlier statement about who responded to the call. Also, what's interesting now, some more stuff is coming out about her family. Again, this is really shaping up to be kind of like the prototypical, sad, broken family situation. Not that that's good, not that that's bad, but I think in general, when stuff like this happens, everyone wants to politicize it. Everyone wants it. Everyone on the left wants to be a Trumper. Everyone on the right is hoping that they're, LGBTQ or whatever, because that's been the recent trend. Quite frankly, a trend for probably longer than we know, because we just haven't been tracking this stuff. But this particular case, to me, appears to just be a poor, lost kid who, didn't have the best home life, who, kind of fell down the rabbit hole. The interesting thing will be to watch, or the important thing to watch now, is how our government will use this to seize more power, seize more control. We're already seeing a lot of comments about, we need more control on this, we need more control on that. You see this, her messy family secrets revealed after the incident. Following 3 divorces by July 2022, the parents then agreed that they would share legal custody. They were married and divorced 3 times. Why would you just keep getting married? I don't really understand that. That's like kind of weird, right? The parents agreed they would share legal custody, but that she would live mostly with the dad, which honestly is really odd. It's very odd that would be the case. Extremely rare. Records show her therapy at this time was to help her decide which parent to spend weekends with. The profile shows several happy memories of him and her and Natalie home from the hospital when she was born in 2009. A day later, at the beach in 2015, supporting her at a martial arts contest 2 years later. Court documents, however, have pointed to an unsettled childhood whose parents' custody agreements often meant she had to move between homes every 2 to 3 days. While it's still too soon to tell exactly what led to everything, Jillian Peterson, a forensic psychologist, told the Post that childhood trauma is often a driving force behind such incidents. Well, duh. That's not really very surprising, to be honest with you. According to other court documents, they were first married 2 years after she was born. She was in 2011. The woman had been previously married and divorced already at 20, and had another daughter who was 20 with a different man to which she was also never married. Court records indicate Rupno's half-sister had permanent legal guardians. What? Jeff and Melissa divorced for the first time in 2014, agreed to have joint custody, but specified she would live with her mother. Then they remarried in 2017 and divorced again in 2020, where they were once again agreed to share custody of their daughter. Then they got remarried again, apparently, in 2021, and then got a divorce a 3rd time. What is going on? Why even bother getting married? Why don't you just co-parent? It's really weird. Not long after her parents split up for the 2nd time, the couple remarried once more. But in April 2021, they got divorced 3 times. A judge granted it a month later, but noted that the parties were admonished, concerning remarriage, basically saying, hey, don't get remarried again. This clearly isn't working. But by this time, Robna was already enrolled in therapy, which was supposed to help her make decisions about which parents she should spend her weekends with, which is what court records show. This kid never stood a chance. It seems like sometimes parents can be divorced, or, a kid can be born out of wedlock and it's not, it's not a total disaster. I think my wife is a good example of that. I think, I know lots of parents that co-parent pretty well. I also know some that don't. This kid had no chance at all. Her parents seem to be totally crazy. The parents report a generally positive co-parenting relationship and continue to communicate with each other by text message and phone conversations. I don't know. They're under investigation. I suspect that there's probably going to be some charges. That seems to be the way this is going. If you want to, they also talks about the letter posted online. We haven't been able to locate that person yet, but that's something we're going to work on today. We're also looking through her personal effects, if she had a computer or a cell phone, to see if there's any transmission between her and someone else. That will give us an idea of what the planning might be, because they still don't know if there was planning. Barnes asked if the ATF to expedite determining the origins of the weapon, and how she got her hands on it. She herself said it was, her dad's stupidity or something like that, and lies. I don't know. And asked if her parents could be charged with a crime. Barnes says that they were voluntarily giving information, but also wanted to look at whether the parents were negligent. But at this time, that doesn't appear to be the case. So maybe she didn't. Maybe she went out and got it on her own. Maybe she didn't take it from her parents. I don't know. The whole thing is really bad. But I guess as we find out more, I'll continue to report on it. I suspect this will be buried now very quickly. Let me know what you think in the comment sections down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.